Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Boundless English. I'm Jade.
And I'm Alex. And today we are talking about something I genuinely believed was impossible for a long time.
What did you think was impossible?
Thinking in English. Actually forming thoughts in English, not in my first language first, then translating. I thought that was something only people who grew up speaking English could do, that the rest of us were permanently stuck translating.
And are you still stuck?
Much less than I used to be. But it took me a long time to understand why I was doing it and what to actually do about it.
And that is exactly what today is about. Because translating in your head is the single biggest barrier between knowing English and speaking English fluently. It is why you hesitate. It is why you lose your train of thought mid-sentence. It is why a conversation that should feel easy still feels like work.
You are forming thoughts in language A, converting them to language B, and then speaking language B, all in real time, while also listening to the other person doing the same thing.
It is genuinely exhausting. And the good news is, it is a habit, not a permanent condition. Habits can be changed. And today, we are giving you 6 practical strategies to start thinking directly in English, bypassing the translation step entirely.
I want to say up front, this takes time. It does not happen after one episode.
It does not. But these strategies accelerate the process significantly. And some of them you can start today, right now, before this episode is even finished.
Let's go.
Strategy number 1. And this is the most immediate thing you can do starting from the moment this episode ends. It is called labeling your world.
Labeling your world? What does that mean?
It means attaching English words directly to the things and actions in your daily life without going through your first language first. Right now, I am sitting at a desk. I am not thinking, this is a mesa, or this is a tish, or whatever the word in your language is. I am thinking desk, window, light, chair.
So instead of seeing an object and thinking the word in your first language, do you train yourself to see it and think the English word immediately?
Immediately. The moment you see your coffee cup in the morning, the sound of rain, the feeling of being tired, exhausted, you start building a direct connection between the world and English. No translation layer in between.
How do you actually practice this?
Walk through your home and mentally name everything in English. Your kitchen, sink, tap, kettle, counter, cupboard. Your commute, pavement, traffic, crowd, platform, carriage. When something happens around you, name it in English the moment it happens, not after, the moment.
And over time, the English word becomes the first word, not the translation of the first word?
Exactly. The goal is for English to become the primary language of your perception, not a translation of it.
I actually did something like this when I first started. I put small sticky notes on objects around my flat, the English word written on each one.
That works brilliantly. Physical labels reinforce the direct connection. Every time you see the word mirror stuck to your mirror, your brain pairs the object with the English word without going anywhere else first.
After 2 weeks, I started dreaming about a flat covered in sticky notes.
That means it was working. Strategy number 2. And this one challenges the way most people learn vocabulary. Instead of learning individual words, learn in chunks.
Chunks? Like phrases and expressions?
Yes, because English is not a collection of individual words you assemble one by one. It is a collection of chunks, pre-built phrases that native speakers use as single units. Looking forward to it. As far as I know. It depends on. I'm not sure yet.
So instead of translating word by word, you think in ready-made English building blocks.
Exactly. When I want to say I am anticipating something, I do not think I am plus looking plus forward plus to plus it, 5 words individually assembled. I think looking forward to it, one chunk, one unit. It arrives whole.
And that is why native speakers speak so fast. They are not building sentences word by word. They are selecting and combining chunks.
That is precisely it. So, the way to make this work for you, when you learn a new word, do not learn it alone. Learn it inside a phrase. Do not learn depend. Learn it depends on the situation. Do not learn suggest. Learn I would suggest that, or can I suggest something?
The chunk is the unit of thought, not the word.
Once your brain stores English in chunks, thinking in English becomes dramatically faster because you are not building, you are retrieving.
Let me try right now. Instead of thinking word by word, I am just going to say what comes. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and what I keep coming back to is the idea that the more you trust the language, the more it comes to you.
Did that feel different from building it word by word?
It did. I was not translating. I was just reaching for the next chunk.
That is thinking in English. Strategy number 3, the inner monologue challenge. And this is the strategy that most consistently gets results for learners who commit to it.
What is an inner monologue?
The voice inside your head, the running commentary you have on your own life. Most people have it in their first language because that is the language they learn to think in. This strategy says move that commentary to English.
So instead of thinking about my day in my language, I think about it in English?
All day. Even when it is imperfect. Even when you do not know a word. You pause, find the closest English option, and keep going. I need to finish that email. I am tired. The coffee is not very good today. What do I have after lunch? I think there is a meeting. I am not sure.
It is messy. It is slow at first, but it builds the pathway.
The pathway between your thoughts and English. Right now, that pathway might be narrow and overgrown. Every time you think in English, even imperfectly, you widen it a little.
And gradually, the pathway becomes a road, and then a motorway.
Until thinking in English becomes faster than thinking in your first language, at least for everyday topics.
Does that actually happen?
For many learners, yes. Especially in subjects they interact with primarily in English. Work topics, English learning itself. If most of the vocabulary you use for your job is English, you may already be thinking in English about your work, even if you do not realize it.
That is true.
When I think about my work tasks, I do think in English. But personal things, emotions, family, memories, those still come in my first language. That is completely normal. Emotional memories are stored in the language they were created in. The goal is not to replace your first language. It is to give English equal standing for the topics and situations where you need it.
That is a very healthy way to think about it.
Friends, if this is resonating with something you have been struggling with, please subscribe to Boundless English, like this video, and share it with someone who is trying to become fluent in English. Comment "think" below. It tells us this episode is helping you, and we read every single one. Strategy number 4, react first, translate never.
React first?
When something happens, something surprising, funny, frustrating, your first reaction is almost always in your first language. A word, an exclamation, a thought. This strategy asks you to intercept that moment and reroute it.
Like catching yourself before the first language reaction lands?
Yes. When something surprises you, instead of wow in your first language, try wow in English. When you are frustrated, this is so frustrating in English. When something makes you laugh, laugh and then name it in English. That's hilarious. I didn't expect that.
Because emotional reactions are the most deeply wired thoughts.
The most deeply wired. And when English reaches that level, when your surprise, your laughter, your frustration start expressing themselves in English, that is when the language has truly moved into you. Not just into your memory, into your instinct.
I remember the first time I swore in English by accident.
That is the moment, actually. When your automatic reactions happen in English without you deciding to use English, the language is becoming part of you.
It was a very proud moment.
In a strange way.
A genuine fluency milestone.
Strategy 5.
Strategy number 5. Input saturation. Surrounding yourself so completely in English that it becomes the default.
So just listening and watching a lot of English content?
Intentionally and consistently. Not as background noise, as active immersion. There is a difference. Background noise gives your brain permission to tune it out. Active immersion means choosing English as the environment for your attention.
So instead of watching a series in your first language, watch it in English.
With English subtitles at first, if needed, not your first language subtitles. English subtitles force your brain to process both the audio and the written English together. Eventually, no subtitles at all.
English podcast without subtitles. That is actually a real search term people use to find content like ours.
Because learners are actively seeking the challenge. They know that removing the visual support forces their ears to work harder, and harder ears become better ears.
And music? English music?
Brilliant, because lyrics are chunks, repeated, rhythmic, emotional. When you absorb English through music, you are not just learning words. You are learning the sound of the language at the most instinctive level.
The rhythm and the flow of English become familiar before you even understand every word.
And when something is familiar, it stops feeling foreign. The moment English stops feeling foreign in your ears, it starts coming more naturally from your mouth. And strategy number 6, the simplest one, and in some ways, the most powerful. It is called the 30-second English thought.
30 seconds?
Every day, before you speak in English, in any situation, take 30 seconds beforehand to have a thought entirely in English. Not a translated thought, a real, direct English thought about anything at all.
Like a warm-up.
Like a warm-up. Athletes warm up before they perform. Musicians play scales before a concert. But most English learners jump straight into a high-pressure conversation cold, and then wonder why their English comes out slowly and uncertainly.
30 seconds of English thinking prepares the pathway.
It activates the English thinking mode. I am about to have a conversation. Let me spend 30 seconds thinking in English so that when I open my mouth, English is already running.
Can you demonstrate?
Right now. Before I recorded this episode, I thought, today we are talking about thinking in English. This is something a lot of people struggle with. I want to be warm and specific. I want Alex to share his real experience. The main idea is thinking in English is a habit, and habits can be changed.
That is English thinking, not translated thinking.
And by the time I opened my mouth to record, English was already running. It was not cold. The pathway was warm.
I am going to do this every morning. 30 seconds of English thought before I start my day.
Even just narrating what you see when you open your eyes. The room is dark. The alarm has gone off. I need coffee. Today I have 30 seconds just to start the engine.
Start the engine? I love that.
Let's recap all 6 strategies.
Strategy 1, label your world. See things and think the English word immediately. Build direct connections without translation.
Strategy 2. Think in chunks. Learn English in pre-built phrases. The chunk is the unit of thought, not the word.
Strategy 3, the inner monologue challenge. Move your internal commentary to English, even messy, imperfect English. The pathway widens every time.
Strategy 4, react first. Intercept your emotional reactions and reroute them to English. When English reaches your instincts, you have truly arrived.
Strategy 5. Input saturation. Surround yourself with English intentionally. English subtitles, English music, English podcasts without subtitles. Make English the default.
And strategy 6, the 30-second English thought. Warm up before every English situation. Start the engine before you need to drive.
6 strategies, 1 goal. Moving English from your memory into your mind.
From something you do to something you are.
That is the journey. And every episode of this podcast is part of it.
Here is your challenge this week. Pick one strategy from today, just one, and commit to it for 7 days. Not all 6, just one.
Which one?
Whichever one feels most doable right now. If you spend a lot of time alone, try the inner monologue. If you are in a rich English environment, try labeling. If you love music, start with input saturation.
Meet yourself where you are and build from there.
Comment think below and tell us, which strategy are you starting with this week? We genuinely want to know.
And tell us, have you ever had a thought in English without trying? That moment when it just arrived in English naturally.
That is the moment we are working toward together.
Until next time.
Take care of yourselves. Keep practicing. Keep thinking.
In English.
In English. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. See you next week on Boundless English.